you're right, you can't go wrong. A little soft, a little sponge, a little rub. Oh, wash away your troubles in the tub. Boop-boop-be-doo. It's so very easy to do. Just turn the faucet on. Hot or cold, and when you are through, you will find that you have won a little joy, and you'll be happy all day long. A little soap, a little water, and a song. Pudgy, come on, Pudgy. Pudgy, Pudgy. Ooh, where are you? Pudgy. Oh, come on. Now, don't play. One, two, three. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Now, Pudgy, come on now. Oh, there you are. Will you please stay put? Oh. Oh, where did he Will you come back here? Come on. Ow, I'm falling. Oh, I fell. Pudgy, tell me what's the matter. Now, will you behave yourself? Okay, Toots. My sweet little Pudgy. Isn't he a clean doggy? Look what I got. A little salt, a little water, and a song. Start the day off right, you can't go wrong. Boop, boop-be-doop, lots of joy. You will be smiling all day long. A little salt, a little water, and a
And a one fish, two fish. And a one fish, two fish.
And red fish, blue
and
fish.
fish.
And red fish, blue
and
fish.
Okay,
Twitch is good.
And red fish, blue.
Let's check the YouTube.
And a one fish, two fish.
And red fish, blue
and
fish. And red fish, blue fish. Okay, Twitch is good. And red fish, blue. Let's check the YouTube. There's that classic YouTube latency. All right, I think I'm good to go. I'm reworking this skirt. I wasn't happy with the shapes of it, and it's just acting funky. So we're gonna resave, reshape, resave, reshape again, and then we're gonna. Mostly, I want to texturing and substance. Also, I think I'm going to take a quick peek at Renderosity. There was stuff on sale yesterday. Some Athenius texture packs. Um, I'm going to check that out and see if there was one for kimonos and some Asian ones. If those are still on sale, I might maybe snag one of those for this. We'll take a look. Anyhow, what am I doing? I think I'm good. I ended up pinning it to keep it in shape. So we're going to export out. And then I'm going to refit it to the base. Then we're going to refit it to Genesis 8. And then I'm just going to re-rig that stuff real quick. We shouldn't have to redo anything for substance per se. Although I might update the geometry on that. But we'll see. Probably would make sense to do that actually. Anywho, let's export this. Export OBJ selected. And I am totally in the wrong folder here. Here we go. That's better. That's going to be the skirt G9F. Save. Yes. Okay. All right. Let me just make sure I am saving with the pins this time. I did this earlier, but my pins didn't get saved. Or my tax, I should say. Tax is what we're saving here. Oakley dokley. So I did hit the save. Let's fit the shape to the Genesis 9 base. So I have to right click, add to workspace, load as a morph target. Say okay. Stop that. Come over here. You know what? That's going to be fine. Select all of that and export again. Did I select all of this when I exported last time? Oh, oogly googly. How big are you? 645 kilobytes. I think that's about right. Yeah, that looks about right. All right, so we're going to save that there. Okay, we're going to revert back. And we're going to fit this to the Genesis 8 shape. Do that as a morph target. Say okay to that. Oops. I'm getting some nasty pulls in there. Let's see if we can sort that, straighten that up a little bit. It's not that bad. That's a little loose. I'm probably going to live with that. He said not stopping. Still messing around with it. So I think if I just pull get that to pull out a little bit. I got a few pins in there. I think we're going to live with that. It's certainly a lot better than what I currently have, so let's do that. File, export, OBJ selected. We might touch it up a little bit with the whatchamacallit. Of course, now I'm in the wrong folder again. Let's overwrite you. Nope, that says top. I want skirt. There we go. I'm going to overwrite you. All right, let's test something out. So, probably good with the Marvelous Designer. Let's launch Zadaz. Okay, let's fit you in so that you're not covered by chat. All right, let me take a look at the 9. I think the geometry somehow is different now, but we'll just double check that. Control L. Dang it, I'm on the wrong tool. That's better. All right, let's take. Can I just update the geometry? Dun, 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 over there. Let's see if I can update it with that. Yo, Charles, how are you doing? Yeah, I thought that was going to be no. For some reason, the geometry is different. It may have to do with the pins. So we're going to set this. We're going to texture this today. I super believe we are going to get there. I'm reworking the skirt because I still don't like the shape of it. How's Labor Day going for you, Charles? Import an existing file. Let's try that. Let's try that one there. Let's accept that. All right, let's do the stuff. I'm gonna just double check a few things. Are my surfaces still good? Yeah, we gotta rename that. That's fine. And I do want to take a look at. Let's just make sure my UVs aren't too bad. I think my UVs are good. So all good on the Western Front. Same as usual, fighting with the software. Damn that software. Back to perspective view. All right, let's transfer tool. Genesis 9. That base. Dress. Long tight template. We'll go with that one. I'm going to double check a couple of things and make sure it works. I just want to load in some morph targets. Just to make sure my other geometries are hunky-dory. There we go. You're my... And then you can come over here. And we are in the right spot. So I do want to check that and that. Make sure both of those are usable. They're not usable. Do I have the wrong thing selected? I may not have the right thing selected. I do not have the right thing selected. There's my problem. At least I hope that's my problem. We'll try this again. Boom, boom, boom. All right, we're good. I think we're good. I'm not going to keep those. Let's pop in there and delete those out. Those are just tests. Here we'll go into edit mode, select both of those, and delete the selected properties. Okay, things to do. fix the names of all the materials, or the surfaces, as Daz likes to call it. This one, I was changing that to say class. Same thing here. That one. Also, I'm going to double check. My UVs didn't change, so the stuff we did on Saturday that works with this should be fine. So here we're going to apply our generic shader. I'm going to go grab my my displacement map for this, which is totally not in this directory. It should be right there, and I think I put in the runtime, right? Right in here. There it is. Those are good. We're going to make you say 6. Let's put the D-force on it and make sure that it is okay with that. Did not explode. It came apart. Damn it. Did not explode. It came apart. Damn it. All right, that means it's I didn't do some fixings on that. This is Marvelous. This is totally Marvelous Designer's fault. You know, we'll hit save and we're just gonna. You know what I need to do? I need to do some cut and sews. Here and here. And then we need to reattach these. And I gotta do a cut and sew on this and this. God damn it. Fucking Marvelous Designer. Which one am I? I gotta come back over to here. I'm doing it on the wrong one. You don't have cut and sews in you either, do you? Yeah, you were cut and sewed right. Okay. We're gonna get there. Now I'm just gonna open this up in the old version. And hopefully I can remember that I did that. And we're going to just export, reshape, export, reload, reshape, export, something like that. I see you, Marvelous Designer. Open up. File. Open. Project. All right, we're in the right spot. I would think I want that one. Let me see if my pins are still here. Let's put you down here. Maybe not. Why do you know? There you are. My tax. All right, my tax are still in place. So we are good on that one. So here, let's do this. So we're going to export that. Having to restart your computer. All right. File, export, OBJ selected. That is that one. That looks good. All right, let's fit you to Genesis. Let's fit you to the base. So once again, add to workspace as a morph target. All right, I think we're good. File, export OBJ selected, and do that one. Actually, did I get the, there it is. I keep forgetting sometimes to get that dialog box. There's Daz. All right, let's try this again. Import, you, okay. You know, this time we're just gonna test it real quick. D-force, do that. All right, it's holding together this time. All right, we're heading in the right direction. Oh, cancel, clear. All right. Okay, so here's the reopen portion. File, recent. That one there. Okay, then we're going to load in that shape right there. I think I can just double click and say morph target on that. What do I got going on there? Do I got a pin down in there? If I remove that tack, does it break stuff? Why do I got a tack all the way down there? I think if I untack that, I'm going to break something. I'm going to test this out, but I might have to redo some stuff. Oh, I got edit tack again. All right, let's give this a shot. I'm in the wrong folder again. There we go. Try that. Do this. I'm going to load this in and see if it works as a morph target. It did not work as a morph target. Damn it. Do I have the right thing selected in the scene? I do. I'm wasting too much time on this stuff that I should be already done with. Frickin' broken ass Marvelous Designer. All right, I'm going to try something else. I mean, I could just weld them in Blender, but I really don't want that as part of the workflow. So here, we'll just do the cutting and the resewing and all of that. So anyhow, we'll do. Come on. I right-clicked, cut and sew. There we go. Come along. Come on. Cut and sew that. Okay, I'm going to cut and sew that line. And what I want is I got to cut and sew that line. Did I cut and sew the wrong line? I think I cut and sewed the wrong line. I did. I want to cut and sew this line over here. And then what I want is I want to cut and sew that line there, which is actually over here. Okay, now we have to just kind of resew all of this stuff back in. So I got to resew that. I'm going to just put that off to the side. So that gets to get sewn right about in there. Something like that. And then this. That needs to just get sewn in there. Right about in here. Okay, put you back. Put you back. And I'm going to just pull these out just a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. So I want to sew this over to here, right about there. And actually, I can kind of see that point, can't I? There we go. That is actually kind of convenient. I don't want to sew onto that. I want to sew over here. Maybe right about. Oh, I undid the. Eventually, I will get this. There we go. This has probably messed up all my UVs on here, though. It's going, oh, this pattern piece used to be here, and we cut it, but we're going to put the UVs over here. Okay, did I cut this? I did. So just move that a little bit out of the way. Okay, put you back. Put these back. All right, let's go take a look at our UV editor. You know what? I think everything's still intact. Good enough. All right, let's hit save on this. Let's switch back over to 2D view. Let's simulate. Okay, let me put them in a bunch of pins in here this time. So I think what we're going to do is pin this up a little bit better. So tack, actually, I keep calling them pins, but I should be calling them tacks. And I can't see where this corner is. Maybe right there. And then I attach you over to there. And then there is this, and I don't know where you go. Yeah, I'm not liking that pin in there. Let's get rid of that. And maybe get rid of that other one over here. Actually, we do that. That kind of helps things out. Yo, it's Rod Shelley. Happy Labor Day. Labor Day. I think that's gonna do. All right, let's go with this and see if I can get this to work. So you're gonna make more burgers and hot dogs today, Rod? All right, file, export, OBJ selected, over that one there. Yeah, yes. Okay, I want to double check. Cloud Optimize is still good. All right, let's hit save. Let's activate another avatar. Actually, let's double check. No, it's raining here. Wow, not fair. All right, let me make sure that this thing is welded together. So let's load it up and take a look. And that one right there is the one we just saved. Get you in here. Activate the D-Force. I'm going to select something. Activate the D-Force. Let's do that. Let's see if all these things go dropping off into the nether. If it just stays sewn together. I think we're good now. All right. All right, time to add the extra shapes in here. Bum, bum, bum. G9 avatars. Base. Load as morph target. Say okay. Is good. Let's double check. That looks fine. File, export, OBJ selected, and we're going to overwrite that. I guess you could grill in the garage. Yeah, you may not want to do that. I can see that. Just grill inside. The carbon monoxide will gently rock you to sleep. Okay, file, open, project. All right, get that back open. I probably should have saved it after that. Oh well. What am I doing? I want that one right there. Add to workspace. As a morph target. Say OK. It does its thing. Okay, let's see if we can clean that kind of up a little bit. That's the kind of the goofy ass shape that I was getting before. And I might just have to smooth that out. But we don't like the way things smooth in ZBrush. So maybe we'll smooth it out in Blender. Anyhow, let's call that good. Let's see how this goes. File, export, OBJ selected. We're totally in the wrong directory again. I hit the wrong button. I wanted this one right here. Right there. There it is. Yeah, that's right. The good old carbon monoxide. It's such a peaceful sleep. It's the big sleep. Some might say a dirt nap. Alrighty, bring you back in. Do the import for this. Say that. Select the skirt. Let's put a deforce modifier. We're double checking just because I'm ultra paranoid now. All right, is looking good. Cancel that. Clear that. Transfer tool. That and that, and we're going to call you a tight skirt. Long tight template. There we go. Accept. All right, clean up the surface names on that. I know we've already done this twice today. Actually, we only did this once today. I did it like 8 times the other day, though. Okay, after we get this set up, we can check and see what the sales look like at Renderosity. Decide whether or not I should have bought something last night instead of waiting till today. All right, I think that's good. Let's do a couple more things. Edit geometry, add the smoothing modifier, edit geometry, convert to sub D, surfaces, put the D-force on it, apply the generic base shader I like. We're going to come over here, set that bend stiffness to 0.1. I think I can go ahead and put on a displacement map as a starting point. And we'll set those levels to 6. Is there anything else I need to do with this? I don't think so. I think I'm ready to save you out, right? Yeah, let's do that. Save as a figure prop asset, and we'll overwrite. Aw, poor stalled martyr. Thank you, Charles. You demand. All right, that's the deadline reporter outfit. I'm working on getting that submitted. I just have to fill out the stuff at Daz and then upload it. Do some final checks. Make sure not to misspell receive again. I'm gonna come over here, come up here and down here and through here and in here and that one there and Neo Asia G9. And I'm going to override the skirt. Dark Lord exists, your honor, pleasant. Hell yeah. New Asia skirt project. New Asia. I think this is good. That says dress. Let's make you say skirt. And accept that. Okay, let's quickly get this over on Genesis 8. Which folder am I in here? I'm in the G9 folder. By the way, did I change New Asia skirt G9? Looks good. Okay, excellent. Let's hide all of this. Let's load a G8 in here. Okay, actually, let's take a quick detour. Let's go shopping. Renderosity. I gotta make sure it doesn't really dox me or do anything goofy like that. Don't you just hate it when you go to a shopping site and it's got all your personal information right there for everybody to see? Do the wish list. There are some sites that I subscribe to that I can't show because it's got my personal information up in the top right. It's kind of annoying. Here we go. I think I can show this. So I have a bunch of these wish listed. Let's see. They're at 50% instead of 60 today. I should have snagged it yesterday. Um, tropical silks. Probably there's the Chinese and the kimonos. Let's go take a look at those. So I would have saved $1.50. So these are the Chinese silks. And we're going to just take a quick peek and make sure. I'm hoping all of that is Twitch safe. Yeah, I'm not sure about these. That's kind of cool, but I don't know. The kimono ones may work out better. Yeah, I didn't see any of those that just jumped out and said, "Buy me, buy me." So let me just check and see if any of that's. Uh, I may have decent enough ones already. See, that's kind of like tropical. Does this say tropical or is that the kimonos? Uh, you know what? I don't think these are anything I really feel the need for over what I've already got. Anyhow, let's take a quick peek at tropical. That one says adults only. So we're going to avoid that. I do have tropical ones though, so I don't think I'm going to pick up anything over there today. Um, so anyhow, let's get this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that and we're just going to auto fit it, and that was the top. So I'm going to cancel that, and then we're going to resize. There we go. You are Genesis 9. You are a dress, and I'm going to call you knee and accept that. And then we're going to update the geometry with the version we saved. At least that's the theory. Then maybe I'll just retransfer it again. So here we'll update vertex position. With that, I have to scale this one though, because that one's teeny. So we're going to come over here and add that scaling factor of 10,629.9 and accept that. And there we go. That's the G8 shape we wanted. That looks so much nicer than what I had in here before. Here, I'm going to hide that for just a second. The other one got all weird and bunchy. That's the real reason why I'm wasting time doing this. There, you can see how that got all... I don't know. You might be able to see how that's... If we do wire shaded, it makes it easier to see how janky it is. So anyhow, we're going to get rid of that one. We've got a good... No, I didn't want to get rid of you. I'm going to get rid of you, I think. And then we're going to rename this. That's going to become G8 female. I'm going to tweak this a little. It's probably good. Probably good. And then we should be able to just save that out because it should have the displacement maps and the proper names because I copied it over. Let's do a little test render here. It should just basically be white with the little displacement map. So it should have that fake thickness on the edge and our nice creases. Should be fine. All right, so let's save that. And that's the skirt. Okay. And I'm gonna do that. I think the rest of this is good. All right, I'm gonna reset everything up for texturing. So let's just put the top back on. We're gonna kind of do the same drill we did last time. Top and skirt, and over here, open those both up. Let's get in here and give these the good colors. And then we're just going to export these out, and then I'm going to get those back into Substance Painter. All right, should be good. I do want to take off. So we'll take the mesh smoothing off. And also we'll take off the mesh resolution, put that back to base. Also, I'm going to use this later on for making my material files. So we're going to export you. I'm going to overwrite the stuff I've got in Substance. So I'm going to overwrite the IDs. And we're writing surfaces, so off with that. And then I'm going to send that again. This is the one with no materials. So we're going to check that off. Okay, now we're going to... Actually, I think I have to pop it open into Blender really quick and then resave it again because I keep forgetting to do that. That one right there. I think. Yep, that one right there. Yeah, we're gonna do a shade smooth and then re-export that. Same deal. I'm gonna send it out twice. Once with IDs. Once without. I think this should be fine. I'm gonna actually I didn't have selected only turned on. I'm gonna do that. Dang it. Turn you off. Go over that. Export. All right, we're good. Now we're getting to the texturing portion of the program. Where am I at? I'm going to save that. File save as. Project. I'm going to overwrite you. All right. All right. Finally, on the day where I'm doing Substance, I'm finally getting to Substance. We also may do a couple materials for the boots, but we'll see. So the boots, we set up the materials for black, but we're going to want a white, maybe a gold and silver, and possibly a brown or a tan. And do I want red and pink? I don't know. We'll see. Actually, we'll do this and then maybe we can decide what other. Well, we do need black and white. I basically need black and white for everything. So we're going to update this for that mesh I just saved. So project configuration. Select. That one right there. Okay. I'm going to rebake. You know what? They're more or less in the same spot, so it's not that bad. The EVs are definitely in the same spot. So I think we were good about that. But still, I'm just going to rebake these. I might as well, I got the ID checked. We might as well get that one out of the way first then. Because it's all set to go for that. It's done. And I can't see chat, so we'll put you over here. All right, uncheck that. Restore defaults. So we're going to do position, curvature, ambient occlusion, and then these two normals, normal and world space normal. Reset you back to that. I think I'm good to go, but I'm going to get rid of you. And then bake selected textures. All right, I think it's good. Let's go into paint mode. So I have silk and I have a color layer. I think you're just a color layer, right? You are just color. Okay. Silk. I'm going to turn these off. Let's see if we can, I'm going to put a metal on these. Silver. I am going to touch that up with the more detail later, but for right now, we'll just put a silver on there. Also, at some point, we are going to want our dirt. So there's my generic dirt. I think I want to maybe do a superhero spandex. Fabric superhero. Let's drop that on as a base. And actually, is that a good tiling? This way we can kind of do a sci-fi. So I'm thinking a silk, kind of a regular fabric, this, and maybe a metallic. So maybe I'm just going to do this with a metallic on the whole thing. So if I do that, I can just remove the mask. So I might do that. And then we can kind of mix and match. So I think we'll have like silver and gold. So let's duplicate that and turn you into a gold. Also, Chris likes to have height maps on. So let's make sure those are turned on. Over here. If I turn you on. Nope, that didn't seem to do anything. Yeah, you're probably okay. All right, let's turn. So to get this into the gold, I think I can just color shift it. That works. And I just want a normal fabric now. Just maybe a cotton. Let's see what that. And I'm just going to dial that up. Click the normal on that. And does that have an opacity? See, I kind of like that. A light opacity on that. I think that'll be fine. So I think maybe 4 to 6 patterns. And we can put the color map on top of these. I want to add a little bit of more detail to this. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to add a little. And let me find a neutral to work against. So I'm just going to go with a mid-tone gray here just to kind of let me see what I'm doing here. And you know what? I think I can actually I'm going to load in that displacement map and kind of use that to add a little extra detail to the edges. Import resources, add resource. Let's go over to here. And grab that in. And I'm am I going to just call you an alpha or texture? I'll just call you an alpha. And we're just going to load it into the project and import that. So I think I'm just going to drop that into this one here, because we're going to use that as maybe a height map. Nice.
Chris, pay attention.
What is that? I'm going to be gone for a short bit. Got to cook dinner. All right. See you when you get back, Charles. All right. We're going to add a little bit of depth to this with a couple of fill layers. I'm going to do one in black. And we're going to put a dirt generator on here. Add generator. Actually, I need to make a mask, don't I? Add a black mask. Then add a generator. And I'm going to say Doit. And I think maybe we're probably going to put a blur on here too, but we'll tweak this. I'm going to lower the contrast on the dirt generator. Maybe pull the low. So I want this to be kind of slight touching up. So it just adds a little extra to it. What's the edge mask can do for me? Anything? Grunge scale. That doesn't really triplanar blending contrast. I don't see that. Grunge amount. We might do that and then dial it back a little bit. Okay, now let's add some highlighter to this. So put another layer in here. This one I'm just going to make white. Same thing, we'll add another black mask. We'll add a generator. And this one's just going to be an edge wear. There's a couple fiberglass edge wear. And then we're just going to dial that back a bit. So we get a little bit more shaping like that. It's almost like painting miniatures. We're doing like a dark wash, and then we're doing like a light dry brush on top. And then I'm going to group these two together, kind of like that. And this way I can just kind of control, and I think I'm just going to blend this into and these are just colors, right? Yep, these are just going to be blended into the color. So in here, I can just kind of take this and dial it back as I need it. So it's even more subtle. And this way, if we put it on top, here, I'll take you, put you there. That gets to sit at the very top. And then if we bring our pattern in, and you can't even really see it now, can you? So maybe, see, now I'm starting to see a little bit of the darkness in there. I could possibly switch you to just overlay. Probably not overlaid, never mind. I mean, I guess I could just multiply. Nah, I think we just yeah, probably just overlay. If I can just see you. Maybe like that. Yeah, I think we're going to leave that. Now we'll just come up with some patterns that we want to use. Let's go take a look at our textures. Now you're too small. I can't see. There we go. Is that what I wanted? No, I hate it when this happens. I can't. I can't see all my options because it's there. It is. These things they go away. Speak. I hate. This is one of the things I hate about Substance Painter. Well, these windows are too low. It just says, "Yeah, you don't need to see that, bro. We're just gonna hide shit for you. We're not gonna do something clever like wrap to a second line. No, you just don't need to see it. It probably wasn't important." Okay, let's add another fill layer in here. Let's go take a look at my patterns. I'm going to search for, I think everything I load in, I put that in, right? So I have a whole bunch of stuff I just kind of preloaded in. I'm going to see if any of that is looking good for what I want to do with this outfit. That's almost pretty. Oops. Yeah, maybe that. Maybe a little tiling, though. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Let's keep on keeping on. So do I have any cool Asian? So let's go to merchant resources. Let's come into here. Watercolor silk. Let's take a look at what we have over in here. Maybe that one. Maybe that. Do I have watercolor silk in here? It's under W, isn't it? What are you? WTCL. WTCL. There they are. Duplicate layer. Maybe drop you in here. Yeah, I like that. And how's this one? I don't know about that. Let's dupe this. Maybe not. Possibly. How do you compare? Maybe that. I have these wizardly things too. No. What about you? I did kind of like you before. Yeah, maybe we could keep that one. Dupe you. I'm going to try to narrow it down to 6 patterns. No, not feeling that. Is that kind of like this, but a different? I should dupe that. I don't know, maybe. That's kind of what I just went with. That almost looks like a weird camo. These are kind of interesting. Tile that a bit more. Yeah, that might do. Duplicate that. Let's go. Let's go the other direction. So those are those watercolors. I don't know what you are. These are these weird tribal. I'm not quite feeling that for these though. That's a little loud. I don't know. Let's keep that in there. Keep on trucking. What do you look like? Hmm. Taco Tina's. These are the weird gothy things. I don't think I actually want a weird gothy animal print. Eh. What are you? You're like some sort of snake skin or something, aren't you? Actually, that one. Is this the one I used before? I am just drawn to the same stuff over and over again. I think I had something like that. I'm looking for that folder again. Where did you go? There you are. So what else we got in here? I have no idea what you are. Okay, I don't want those. Magic prints. I'm not seeing the, not talking to me. There's the retros, but I don't think I want to do any of these retros. Oh, those are just bits and pieces. Ethnic silks. Did I already look at you? No, I don't think I had those installed. Do I want any of these though? That one I might. And maybe they're like, these are kind of like the tribals, but a little bit different. So maybe I get these loaded in. Let's try that. So come over here and we'll do file, import resources, add resources. I'm going to come over here to these merchant resources and Attenius, and which one was this? Ethnic silks. And I want to say we're just going to grab all of these and open that, and it's going to do this. So we'll just select all of them together. Put that in there so it's easy to find, and we're going to call all these textures. And I'm actually going to save this into my library for later on. And did I say import? I did. It is importing. It's just taking its time because there's a lot of it. So while that's going on, we'll take a look at some of these others. No. So what do we got for the fabulous darling silks? I don't think those are installed either. I kind of like those. Yeah, let's get those too. File, import resources, add resources. Come over here. We'll just go down to fabulous silks and runtime and textures and Attenius and F, and just grab all of this and we'll just do the same thing. Ooh, I like these down at the bottom. One of these, I'm going to use one of these, and I'm not sure which one. I'm going to open. Come through here, do that. Call these all textures and into my library and import that. And then we impatiently wait while it imports. At least it has a little status bar. So those are AFGN. These other ones are FS for Fabulous Silks. I'm going to dupe this twice. Yeah, I do like, I do like these. I'm rolling down to the bottom though, because I was kind of like this kind of floral pattern. That one's got flamingos, so I think maybe we'll skip that. I kind of liked something a little lighter. I think I might go with that. I'm going to just roll up here and see if there's any. Ooh, I like that one. I like that one too. I'm probably going to end up using just these. Actually, I'll probably use 4 of these and then maybe 2 other from somewhere else. Is what I'm leaning towards. Let's duplicate that layer. Let's drag and drop you in here. What do you look like? Yeah, I'm going to come back to these. These are definitely going to be used again. So it's these 4 layers here. I'm going to keep. Do I want? So I'm going to just turn on and off and try to find 2 more. And let's kind of take a look at what do I have here. So that's basically like a brown. That's just like a rainbow. That's kind of pink. And that's kind of a tan. So I want something maybe blue and green. That's kind of bluish. That one, you know what? I'm gonna go something. There's a green. I do like that, so I think we'll keep that one. And that's kind of a blue and a gold. I do think that's pretty. I like that, but I'm leaning towards. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go not with you. Where'd you go? I think I'm gonna go with that one. I think that'll make 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, let's do that. And let me just for our purposes, I'm just gonna lose those. Let's group these together. And this will be colors. And let's take a look. I'm going to set up a couple of the spandexes. Do I want the spandex in? No. So I just need to do a black and a white base color. Maybe 4 base colors. A couple yeah, I think we'll just do 4 base colors. What is my color looking like? If I do all the colors like that and then apply, yeah, let's make you, where are you? You're probably good. Actually, let's just do black, white, and then patterns, and then gold and silver. So I want colors for gold and silver. I don't know if I want to do silks or not. I'll think about it. Anyhow, did I not duplicate you? Make you black? Kind of like that. So possibly cotton and metallic. I'll do silk as a backup. Okay, let's start saving this stuff off. I'm not gonna choose black as the yeah, let's just get it. Let's just do it with black to start with. Control Shift. And is my opacity on? Yeah, okay. And if I turn cotton off and gold on, gold does not have opacity. If I do that, does it have an opacity? It has no opacity. You know what? I need a backing opacity in here, I think. We'll just add another layer. Put that in the back. You're just for opacity, so we're just going to do that. And then if I turn cotton on, and then if I don't have cotton on, my opacity is just white. Got it. Okay. Okay, Control Shift E. I'm going to do 6 channels. Export that. Did I save this yet? I have saved it, so it says Neo Asia. And you were the black, so let's open up the output directory. And we're going to rename all of this. I'll rename that one later, but I don't need the name there. I'm just going to rename you with Power Renamer. And we're going to replace Asia underscore with Asia underscore cotton, and apply that. And this is just going to be black. All right, let's cut those and put them into the working folders now. And it will come in. Where are you at? Whip. Every time I drag this, my windows are getting narrow. What the hell? Why you do that? Neo Asia, there we go. Runtime, textures, Neo Asia, outfit, and paste. Okay, let's do the dirty version. So Control Shift E, export. Okay, so I don't need the height and the normal map. I don't need the opacity map. I actually don't need that either, but I think I'm going to keep it. I'll delete it out later. All right, let's change all of this to say worn. Nope. So it's going to be Asia, cotton, worn, underscore, apply, close, and you're going to be black. All right, let's save out the silk. So generic silk activated, gold off, cotton off. We'll pop over here to material and see how we're looking. Turn the dirt off. Probably good. How do you look? Yeah, we'll do that. Control Shift E. 6 channels, export. I closed my output directory. Anyhow, so that gets to be white. These we're going to rename. Oops, white moved. Excellent. Got all of that. Pop over to my folder. Where did my folder go? Oh no, did I close it in a mad frenzy of closing stuff? Apparently I did. Try to remember not to close stuff in a mad closing frenzy again. New Asia, there we are. Runtime and textures and me and Neo Asia and the outfit, and we paste all of that into there. All right, now we'll do the setup for the worn silk. So you activate the DOIT, Control Shift E, export. Go find the export folder. Okay, I am not going to need, I do need that, I don't need you, I don't need you, and I don't need you. That's going to become white worn. Or is it worn white? What did I call the black? Black worn. All right, we're going to say white worn. And then these two are going to be renamed silk worn. Excellent. Cut those. Back over to here. E. All right, let's do the metallics. All right, let me just hit save on this. Silk off, gold on, turn the dirt off. Here. So that's the silver. Did I not set you up to be? Oh, that's because I have white turned on. So that's going to be gold. I don't actually need the 6 channels anymore because we already have the opacity. Nope. Yep. So you're gold. I don't think I need you. Gonna rename all you guys. Metal. So we're saving out basically the basic height, normal, roughness, and metallicity maps, and we're also getting some of the color maps while we're doing it. And then we'll finish grabbing the other color maps that we still need. All right, add dirt. Control Shift E. Export. Back over to here, so I don't need those. So they'll be the same. Using opacity. These two, gonna get to say silk or metal worn. And that gets to be gold worn. Now we're just saving out the rest of the colors. So gold off, silver on, and Control Shift E, and we're just going to switch over to just saving out base colors. Pop over to. I think I closed my export again, didn't I? So that's silver worn. This will be silver. Okay, now we're just working off the colors here. Pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3. um, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Control Shift E, export. Pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Control Shift E, export. I just have to do these 12 times, of which we have now finished 3. Did I close my All right, pattern 5. Pattern 6. Okay, now we're going to knock out the dirty versions. Zoom, zoom. You're supposed to say pattern 2. Why are you... Oh, I see what I did wrong. You're supposed to be 1. But I had 2 on the clipboard. You are 3. That's 4. That's 5. And that one is 6. We're also going to start the tattered map too. We'll save that out. That actually, and I'm then going to take that into Photoshop, where I'm going to distress the edges even further. But this will be in here I set up the basic where the holes and things go. I think, am I good? Am I good? Is that actually 5? That looks like 6. That's 6. So I just need to do the, I put you in the wrong spot. So we're just export out the tattered map. And I'm going to get one. We're going to put one of these on the outfit, and then we're going to call it. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Am I going to do silver? Actually, I might not even put color. We're going to do this. It's going to have metallic trim. And I still have to do the clasps. So we might do that tomorrow night. We'll see where we are. We still have to texture the boots. You get the B6. There we go. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to throw tattered map. Then we're going to throw on the throw a texture on the outfit, and then call it a day. Find somebody to raid. I have 10 minutes to do that. And tattered biggie spelled like that. And Chris torn tattered. There we go. We just take that. We just drag and drop it. And we're just going to look at the opacity on that. And we're going to tweak that. So I have a whole bunch of these in here. So I'm going to start by hiding and scaling these. So we'll start with this one until I have enough of a distressed look going on here. See, that might be too much. That might work. And then maybe we add another one on top of it. I kind of like that one as it is, except I think I'm going to slide it just a little bit to one side. We're trying not to be too obvious at showing off the naughty bits. I'm rotating the wrong one. There we go. So we'll just do a little offset, just to kind of maybe move those over into there. I think my nipples are somewhere in here and here. I probably might see a little bit through there. Probably be fine. Not really. That I would probably. This I want to touch up just a little bit. I think I'm just going to put a white mask on here, and we'll just take a little bit of this. Which one are you anyhow? So you're that one there. So here, let's put a white mask on there. And we're just going to touch that up a little bit. Actually, let's make you sharp. And small. And smaller still. And I'm just going to hit this little spot right over here. Just a little bit more. Oh, you're on the other one. So let's just add a white mask to that as well. And then I can touch you up with these little think that'll do. So I'm going to save that out. I could add a black mask and then so we're just going to save this as an opacity map. In Photoshop, I'm going to tatter these edges. I have an idea of what I want to do to maybe make it look a little better this time, but we'll see. Anyhow, Control Shift E on that. We're going to switch this over to say, we're going to just save the opacity map. Export that. Pop over to here, and that just becomes tattered opacity. All right, let's copy all of this. Actually, we're going to cut all of this. Control A, Control X, and Control V. All right, let's size you up. All right, let's save that. I'm done with Substance for right now. So I think I've got most of the maps I'm going to use for this outfit now done. I want to save this really quick here because I don't think I did last time, did I? Yeah, I'm going to save you as a... I feel like I did, but apparently I didn't. Okay. Smart me would have saved this to begin with, Neo Asia. So I'm just going to save... Yeah, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. It's just... I can't do that because we need to do this. There we go. Chris's base shader has been activated. My displacement map has fallen off though. So let's put the displacement map back on to start with. Right here. Something in here should say Neo Asia displacement. There we go. Looking good. Now we can drop these others. I think I'm just going to do the basic cotton. Actually, we're going to do basic cotton, then we're going to add a metal to the trim. And I'm totally in the wrong folder here. That's the one I'm looking for. Okay, so let's start with this. Cotton opacity can go right there. Cotton roughness comes right there. Okay, we don't have metallicity for the cotton, so just dial that down to 0. And then I just need the, where's the cotton height map right there. You, my cotton normal map, you go there. Now we're just going to find a color. I was going to go with the pink one, wasn't I? Yeah, let's do that. Let's switch you back to texture shaded. All right, let's do the trim and the clasps. Actually, these need to be invisible. We'll just make those invisible. I'm going to take the clasps and the trim, and I'm going to take the waist and the trim down here. Do I want to... I should have added trim to the collar now that I think about it. Oh well. Or maybe we just add... Here, we'll just try this. See how this looks. All right, let's do the... Set this up for the metallic. So that goes there. We're going to crank you all the way over to here. We are looking for the... That looks white to me. I don't think I need that map in here. I do have a metal height map. I do have a metal normal map. And do I have a metal? And I do have a metal roughness. So I think, and we don't need the cutout opacity on that. Oh, and I need to put it over here. So let's take you, copy, paste, and I think I'm going to call it here for the day. Let's do a quick render. Look at that. It is 3:59. Let's find somebody to raid while this renders out. Hey, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Hey, if there's anybody on the YouTube, like and subscribe, baby. Like and subscribe. I saw Quasi was supposed to be on earlier. Let's see if he's around. Charles, thank you so much for being here, as always. And as always, a pleasure to see the awesome that is Rod Shelley. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm thinking that one. Although I think I'm going to tweak that color. I think I might go with that. But anyhow, where is my... There is that. Let's see who is on. I don't even know who Flying Hippo is. Why do I have so many... Why am I following so many people? Because it gives them that micro endorphin rush. Riv Critter is on. Maybe we'll say hi to Riv Critter, but let me see who else is on. Yeah, I think I did see Quasi was streaming earlier, but I don't see them now. Let's try that again. Anyhow, make sure
bud, let's party.
Make sure you're following Quasi. You know, probably we'll just go over and say hi to Riv Critter. She's a wonderful artist. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. So we will be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Probably still working on this outfit. This is the week's project. I should have the deadline reporter outfit done submitting tonight. I'm close. I'm just tweaking the descriptions and stuff in the form. Oh, I should put this. I think I've got trim on here. I should put the gold on that as well. Anyhow, that is a pretty pattern, though. I like that. I think I was going to swap that gold out with something like a lighter rose gold, though. That'll look nicer with that. And that'll probably be the hero texture, I think. I'll go with that. Anyhow, let's do this. Hey, I've got a Discord. Feel free to join if you haven't already. Hey, I sell stuff at Daz. Buy my shit. Buy my shit. I mean, buy my high quality Daz products. There you go. That's it. We got the raid calls. Hey, good to see you, Rod. Hope you and Joe have a rest of a good Labor Day. Same with you, Charles. I hope dinner's coming along nicely. And there is the regular raid. Here is the sub raid. And let's do this. Let's say hi to Riv Critter. Back home from vacation. Yippee. And she's sketching in a sketchbook. I see Lux is over there with Chris the Cripple. So we can hang out with them. With the usual suspects / raid. Control B. And thank you all for being here. I hope you have a good rest of Monday or Tuesday for those of you on the happy side of the planet. And hasta la vista, baby.